Keep in mind, this is not an instructional video. This is a blog or vlog or whatever you call it of me learning this reaction. This is only the second time I've done this reaction. Keep in mind, ether is flammable, very flammable, and I'm sure that the tert-butyl and all these chemicals are all bad for your health. So if you repeat anything in the video, do it at your own risk. I could have used hydrochloric acid as the acid to get rid of the metal and make sure everything was hydrolyzed in that, make everything clear. The tert-butyl alcohol, it is very easy to turn it into, not tert-pentyl alcohol. It's really easy to turn it because it's a tertiary alcohol. It's easy to turn it into tert-pentyl chloride. Okay, chloride is a really good nucleophile, but sulfate or bisulfate anion, that's not a good nucleophile. That's why I used it. But you can use hydrochloric acid, and then you wouldn't have to really wash it with this sodium carbonate, because we're going to distill this, and HCl will just disappear during the distillation. But I use sulfuric acid, so I got to wash it with the carbonate. Alright, so here's my stuff. You can see there's 2 layers. It's not going to be enough to put in my step funnel, so I'm going to have to do this in a couple steps. But I'm going to put as much as I can into the step funnel and separate off the ether. Oh, that's close. Shake it up a little. See it already separating. And I got this with some ice in it, and I'm going to put some water in it too. Put it like this. Put that down into the ice water so it doesn't get too warm. Alright, here's the diethyl ether. I'm going to chill this down. While that's chilling, this is the water. Okay? I got 57 grams, just an arbitrary amount of salts, table salts, just kosher, not purified or anything. It's just kosher salt. I'm going to toss it in here into the water. And I got the stir bar going. I got some cellophane so nothing evaporates. And I'm going to try and dissolve that salt into the water. Try to push out anything that's non-polar. As you can see, all the salt dissolved. I put it in the step funnel. I want you to check it out. I don't know if you see it on camera. There we go. See how there's a little space there? Just from the salt, it pushed all that out. There, see it? See it? That's a pretty good bit. Got some fresh diethyl ether. I'm going to put an arbitrary amount in there, somewhere around 20 milliliters. As usual, shake it up. Bent. 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 And I'm going to let this sit again. Again, I'm going to put it into some ice water here so it doesn't get too warm. And I'm going to try and extract more of that alcohol out. Tert-pentyl. Alright, so there's all my ether washings and the ether with the product in it. I have some saturated sodium carbonate, and I'm just going to put an arbitrary amount in there to wash out that sulfuric acid. As always, I'll shake it. Definitely bent. Well, there must not be that much acid in there. I don't see any bubbling. I was going to wash it twice. I think it's sufficient. Yeah, it's not building up any gas, really. Alright. And as usual, I have my ice water here. I'll put this in there so it doesn't get evaporate, build up pressure. Alright, now I got all my diethyl ether in there, all the washes, all the product. Basically, I got the fractional distillation set up, and I'm going to distill all the low boiling point stuff out, like mainly the diethyl ether. So when I get done with that, I'll be back with you. Alright, as you can see, I got a lot of the diethyl ether out of there. It's still coming over, but I wanted to show you something. I noticed that it's changing. I don't know if you can see it on there, but it's more oily now. The diethyl ether was kind of like water, but from here, the halfway point of the Vigorex column down, it's starting to change into like an oily. You can't really see it on film, but obviously this is starting to come up. You know, the TERT-PENTYL alcohol, and the temperature's starting to rise, going up about 40 degrees or whatever up at the still head. Now you see how much I got left. Not much, but I only did. I should not, even at 100% yield, I'd only get 55 milliliters. And down here, look at what the pot is boiling at. I can't get it in there. 86. So I'm guessing everything in that pot is mostly TERT-PENTYL alcohol, and it's just got to get the rest of that little bit of crap out of there. Alright, so I'm done distilling. This went up to, the still head went up to 50 degrees slowly, up to 50. Then all of a sudden nothing would come over, and the thing jumped all the way up to 85, and I let it maybe 10 drops come over, something like that, and it went up to 87 degrees. I didn't want it to keep coming over at 87. That's my product. Here's all my, you can see how nice and clear it is. That's my diethyl ether and all the other stuff that's crap. And here's my azeotrope, TERT-PENTYL alcohol, and my water. Alright, here it is. This is a 150 milliliter flask. So it's looking pretty good. This was coming over at 87 degrees Celsius. So, I mean, it's got a yellow tint, that's for sure. But it's nice and clear. And looks like it's pretty much, you know, the amount for a really good yield. But that don't mean crap until I distill it at the end and see. So I got it in my Dean Stark apparatus. This tube right here, it can only hold about 11-12 grams of, or milliliters of water. So I hope that's enough. If not, I'll have to take it apart, dump out the water. It might actually just be perfect. You can see, look up here, I got the water-cooled condenser. Stuff's going to boil off here, come up into the condenser, come back down, and get stuck in this tube. And the water and the, which is the polar part and the non-polar part, should separate out into two different layers, like biphasic. Since our product is on top, as the water fills up, it'll start dumping it back into here, our product. And hopefully we'll have a semi-pure product after that. You can see about a milliliter came over. This is the first time I've ever used this. I've had it for a couple of years, but I've never actually used a Dean Stark apparatus. But this looks like clear distillation, like any other distillation. You know, 30% means 1/3 almost. So that means a third of this bottom, there should be a little line. Oh wait, maybe there it is. I think I see it now. I'm kind of blind and my camera ain't that great, so we're going to wait and see till I get 3 milliliters. Then the line should be around 1 milliliter. It'd be easier to see. Let's see what's going on. You can't see it on camera. I can barely see it. The line is actually up on top, around right above my fingernail. But you can see, I don't know if you can see the drops, they go right through it. You can actually see the dropping through. My camera ain't good enough to get it. But I guess as it, I can see that everything's trying to get down to the bottom though. Now you can see Yeah, it's starting to pile up down here. I don't know if you can see the very bottom. It's like right at the top of my fingernail. Let me try to see it. There it goes. See that line? Right above my fingernail. I see the tube filled up, so now you can see it's flowing back down into the pot. This is that arm. Watch, I'll pull back. Okay. There's the pot. Comes up and into this thingy here. So you can see it's already filled up. Well, last night I could only get about 2.6 milliliters into this tube here, right? So I dumped it over just like you pour a cup, you know what I mean? I just took the condenser off and I picked this up and turned it so that I'll pour it in there. The little bit that wouldn't come out, what I did was I got a pipette and I put it back in there. I dumped the water out. I'm going to do it again today to see, just to make sure I got all the water out. Anyways, the bottom layer is completely water, or at least, you know, almost pure water. The top is going to have the product, tert-pentyl alcohol. But it's also going to have a lot of water in it. That's why it's cloudy, because the water, some of it's dispersing before it gets way down here. So as this fills up, it'll push out the top layer back into the pot. And you just keep distilling it until this bottom layer fills all the way up and it won't fill up anymore. Then you know all the water's out. Well, as you can see, I got another half a milliliter there. There's a line right here, right above my fingernail. It's been going for an hour now, and there ain't nothing else coming over. So I'm going to let this cool down and pour that back in, pipette this back into the pot. Alright, so here's my product. What I'm going to do is I got most of the water out. I got another half a gram. So that'd be like total 3 milliliters of water I got out of there doing the Dean Stark. I'm going to put about this much. You can see on my spoon. That's a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. I'll throw that in. Maybe one more. Maybe just a little one there. That's barely covering it. Throw that in. Yeah, maybe one more. Yeah, there we go. That's good. I'm going to throw a stir bar in there. Now, why am I putting in magnesium? This is magnesium sulfate. I don't know if I've messed up and called it calcium chloride, but this is magnesium sulfate. Why am I doing that instead of calcium chloride? Because calcium chloride forms complexes with alcohols, right? And they precip out.